afternoon.
Hello again. Welcome.
We are here with another Fun Fact Friday, and we have Philip here, and he is going to talk about the ferries.
Yeah, in past Fridays, we've talked about mailboats, and we've talked about Fraser Peel's very first ferry to Ocracoke. But this is just a real brief history of the ferry system at Ocracoke. Just to reiterate, Fraser Peel started the first car ferry to Ocracoke in 1950. And then in 1961, that the state took over the ferry. I think it was 1961. The state bought Fraser Peel's franchise and started operating ferries across Hatteras Inlet. And the first Fraser's ferry was a wooden boat. And we talked earlier about the two shad boats, but in later years he built an actual dedicated boat that would hold, I think, 4 or 5 cars, and it had railings and ramps and things. But then when the state took over, they appropriated World War II landing craft for ferries, and they operated for several years that way. And eventually they started building dedicated steel ferries just for that purpose, to run across Hatteras Inlet. But in 1961, that was when the state took over. But a year before that, the Taylor brothers, I think it was the Taylor brothers from over on the mainland, started the first sound passage across from the mainland over to Ocracoke. It was originally from Atlantic, North Carolina, but then the state took over that. When the state took over the ferry system, they moved the docks on the mainland in 1964, I think, in 1964, over to Cedar Island, which made the trip shorter. But those ferries continue to run now from Cedar Island to Ocracoke. And then in 1977, the state added one more ferry trip from Swan Quarter, North Carolina. So today, as most of you know, we have regular ferry service, sometimes irregular ferry service, from Hatteras Island across Hatteras Inlet, and then also ferry service from Cedar Island and from Swan Quarter.
So a lot of people often ask which ferry they should take. And Hatteras is if you want to come down the Outer Banks and see all the different lighthouses, and that's often the one people take coming from the north. If you're coming up from the south, Cedar Island tends to be the better ferry. And then Swan Quarter is kind of an all-around, all-purpose.
From Raleigh, that's a convenient. Actually, it's about the same time to Swan Quarter or Cedar Island from Raleigh. Or if you're coming from Maryland or Pennsylvania or up Virginia, and you don't come down the Outer Banks, Swan Quarter would be a good choice for that.
And North Carolina has one of the biggest ferry systems in the U.S. I think only Washington State is bigger.
I think that's right. Yeah.
So it's really a cool experience to come over to Ocracoke on the ferry, and it's something that you don't.
It's a new experience for lots of people.
So there you go. We've got 3 options.
It's not a new experience for us, though.
But we still love it. Every time I get on the ferry, I enjoy it. So that's just a little bit of information about the ferry system that serves Ocracoke Island.
We'll be looking forward to seeing you next trip on one of the ferries to Ocracoke, unless you fly your own plane here.
All right.
Or your own boat.
Well, thank you for joining us for this Fun Fact Friday about some of the ferries.
Bye-bye.